of a killing machine with a need to bleed you when the light goes green. Best believe I'm in the zone to be. From a yin to my yang to my yang to Z. Put a grin on my chin when you come to me, cause I'll win, I'm a one of a kind, and I'll bring death to the place you're about to be. Another river of blood running under my feet. Forged in a fire lit long ago. Stand next to me, you'll never stand alone. I'm last to leave, but the first to go. Lord, make me dead before you make me old. I feed on the fear of the devil inside of the enemy faces in my sight. Aim with a hand, shoot with a mind, kill with a heart like Arctic ice.
I am a soldier and I'm marching on.
I am a soldier and I'm marching on.
I am a warrior, this is my song.
I am a warrior and this is my song. I bask in the glow of the rising war. Lay waste to the ground of an enemy shore. Wade through the blood spilled on the floor. And if another one stands, I'll kill some more. Bullet in the breach and a fire in me, like a cigarette thrown to gasoline. If death don't bring you fear, I swear you'll fear these marching feet. Come to the nightmare, come to me. Deep down in the dark where the devil be. In the mall where the jaws and the razor teeth, where the brimstone burns and the angel weeps. Crawl to the gods ever cross your path, and my silhouette hangs like a body bag. Hope is a moment now long past. The shadow of death is the one I cast. I am a soldier and I'm marching on. I am a warrior and this is my song. My eyes are steel and my gaze is long. I am a warrior and this is my song.
We're not just going to shoot the bastard. We're going to cut out their living guts and use them to grease the treads of our tanks. We're going to murder those lousy bastards by the bushel.
Now I live lean and I mean to inflict the grief, and the least of me is still out of your reach. The killing machine's gonna do the deed until the river runs dry and my last breath leaves. Chin in the air with a head held high, I'll stand in the path of the enemy line. Feel no fear, know my pride. For God and country I'll end your life. I am a soldier and I'm marching on. I am a warrior and this is my song. My eyes are steel and my gaze is long. I am a warrior and this is my song.
All right, now you sons of bitches, you know how I feel.
First and foremost, this channel 100% supports U.S. veterans. So any veterans that come to me with something that's wrong, you better believe I got no problem doing the show. Now, whether you're new here or you've been here, if you're a citizen, a driver, a motor carrier, a freight agent, a broker, you better pay close attention from beginning to end, because there's some stuff in here. Everyone always talks about transparency. Well, we got transparency here. We're going to go over some things, and then we're going to play a video from a veteran that was dealing with the broker. I got the whole video, okay? This nonsense, this ain't flying on my watch. So everyone pay attention, and we're going to cover everything. We're going to cover this brokerage too. You guys should be ashamed of yourself, truly ashamed. And I'm being told that this is not the only time or person that this is occurring to. Let's get it rolling. NTG, as you saw in the opening clip there, I'm going to start with some reviews here. And they're recent, December, just this December, right now. This company owes me $60,000 for hauling containers out of the Charleston, South Carolina area. I have hauled well over 100 loads and had issue after pay issue. They've been doing all that they can to block reviews and avoid paying me. I have been blocked on Google and LinkedIn. They sent out lies about me via email saying that I went to their customer and demanded $40K. Employee still has a job. The broker quit. General manager and carrier representatives also left. This issue has been going on for almost 2 years. If you're a small carrier, do not even bother. This is on Yelp. Next one. I'm having issues with payments from this company. I get next day quick pay, and for some odd reason, I don't get paid. My payments are being delayed. This has been going on since the beginning of December. I think it's time to do business elsewhere. It's always from the accounting team. Oh, we paid. You wait until the end of the next day? Like, come on, I've been trucking for some time. When you're on next day quick pay, you are supposed to be paid the next day, not no delay unless it's a holiday or on the weekend. This shit is ridiculous. I think it's time for me to do business elsewhere. Next two. These are the most unprofessional, incompetent group of people I've ever come across, besides TQL. I agreed to the rate and sent over to RC to be signed. I rejected it because they said it's FCFS, and the shipper said, I don't care what they tell you, we are appointment only. Since I rejected the RC, I was banned. Not a big loss at all, as they are banned as well. Cameron Johnson and Drew White continued to call my phone saying I was holding freight hostage. Two big man babies, poorly trained. Next one, Nolan Transportation Broker, Keaton Bertram, had me to run a load at the rate of $2,500. Then after delivery, he reduced the load by $1,200. Be careful when you run for them. I ran for them for 5 years and had limited problems. But the start of 2023 was different. They booked a load, gave me the go-ahead to leave, and then called me 2 hours later and wanted me to turn back to go get another load. I am 2 hours away from home, and because I wouldn't turn back, he became very vindictive and frustrated to get back at me. He cut the amount by $1,200. Nolan don't have an open chain of command or person you can contact when you have issues. They simply stop communicating with you. I have all the email and documentation to prove, but they do not care. They control the pay. Even if you sign a RC contract, they still don't have to pay you the set amount. Be careful, folks. This can happen to you. We got two more. So the last two, then we're going to start the next segment. Horrible experience with Nolan NTG. We ship with them some goods for our business. There is a lack of any communication as soon as they book you. Moreover, they don't pay their carriers. We had to cover costs to the carrier. Very dishonest. Do not book a load with this company. We have invoices from June. It's now October. They have a high turnover rate. The broker you make a deal with won't be there by the time it's time to get paid. We had 6 loads with them, still waiting on 3 to get paid. They keep saying they have to confirm with the broker that no longer works there. I'm now on my 6th contract. The payables team you will have to harass and get the runaround. They will forward your calls. We already have a team of lawyers ready for this unprofessional company. These are common stories. These are on Yelp. There's a ton of them. And a lot of this stuff is even brought up in this video I'm going to show you from this other carrier. Let's move along. So, I got more information regarding NTG that I think everybody should be aware of, because I don't think a lot of people are aware of. And I see some other nonsense going on. We got here Sope Creek Portfolio. Our family office has been investing in private companies for 10 plus years, being fortunate enough to back some big ideas. We value different ways of thinking and solving problems across all sectors and invest in entrepreneurs that have unrelenting hunger for success. It's called Sope Creek. And the founder is Kevin Nolan. Interesting, isn't it? Let's move along. So, their founder, Kevin Nolan, I noticed on the bottom there, we got NTG, OTR Capital, Marquee Insurance Group. But you know what? There's even more that should be concerning to people that are in the trucking industry. I believe, my opinion, and I'm sure others will agree with me. So, Mr. Kevin here, founder, I see here Highway, Carrier Assure, Learn to Win, NYSHEX, OTR Solutions, Upwell, Vuma, and Good Ship. Some of these I'm interested in, let's just say. So these are the 3: Highway, Carrier Sure, and OTR Solutions. So let's start with the first one. Highway is a single on-carrier onboarding platform which integrates with freight brokers to create seamless carrier onboarding process for both the broker and carrier. Interesting. Next, OTR Solutions. Let me just read this first. OTR Solutions provides transportation and brokerage factoring services, back office solutions, and technology services across transportation logistics industry. So this is very interesting to me because I've been getting some emails and some phone calls from carriers and drivers. Let's start with the first. The first is they were trying to strong arm someone with their 4%. Then they're asking this carrier to send them all their drivers' information and their customer information. To me, this would be a little concerning. Why a factoring company is asking for all this, but yet this factoring company is tied in with a certain brokerage, NTG. Isn't this very interesting, folks? I think it's very interesting. Not to mention, I had another broker that I talked to very regularly who told me OTR Solution was trying to strong arm him for $4,500 for 30 days. They told him, you need to pay this now. I can tell you what he told them, but I'm not going to tell you. So anyways, something's up with OTR Solutions. You guys think you're going to strong arm people? Not to mention, it's really, really on my nerves how you guys are using social media influencers, not even good ones, to promote and lead drivers to your company, okay? Because you're paying them. And some of these social influencers do not even have motor carrier authority. In fact, some of them are even double brokering. So, as a factoring company, getting involved with social media influencers and people double brokering loads linked to another brokerage, I think this is of high concern. Wouldn't some people agree with me? Let's move on. Carrier Sure. Now, this one's very interesting here. Carrier Sure is an objective, real-time performance scoring software that utilizes data science to provide brokers and shippers with an indication of carrier performance capabilities. I'm just curious here how this platform that rates carriers, are you rating the brokers and stuff too? I believe you do, but so if a brokerage is invested in you, I would think that would be a little bit biased. Wouldn't you think? Because I doubt, I can probably, you guys can look it up. I bet you I'd like to see their rating. With their low Yelp reviews and what I'm hearing going on, that people aren't getting paid, and we're not talking about little money, folks. We're talking about big thousands of dollars, okay? So how is Carrier Sure going to rate anybody? Let's move on. So, Miss Cassandra Gaines, CEO of Carrier Sure, Business Insider Top 100, host of Mad Gaines podcast, transportation lawyer. You know, I'm a little concerned here because we have a lawyer here that, as far as I'm concerned, is a tango on the take. You're in bed with these people, not literally, maybe, who knows? But as a lawyer, I know there's a code of ethics that you need to go by. Something to me here does not seem kosher because you're collecting money from this brokerage to fund your platform, which then grades carriers. But if that brokerage is doing dirt and not paying carriers and screwing veterans, and you're okay with this, and hey, brokers, agents, drivers, carriers, wake up, smell the coffee. You got to go get another one of them Starbucks? Go get it. Because I'm telling you, there is a lot of crazy stuff going on. Someone tell this chick here, right here, Miss Transportation Lawyer, you're dirty as far as I'm concerned. You're dirty for the people you're involved with and what's going on. That's what I see. So, NTG's got a couple offices. The office in particular we're talking about where this occurred is in Charleston, South Carolina, 4401 Leeds Avenue. So we're going to call this the NTG South Carolina Outpost. Now, folks, I don't like what I'm seeing. I think you all need to do better research. Learn who you're dealing with, who you're donating money to, because I believe a lot of you don't even realize the people you're supporting and funding are working against you, okay? That's what I'm seeing. You people don't do enough research to see who you're working with and who's coming for your stuff, for your customers. And then for NTG to sit there and tell this carrier that he cannot go to that shipper, hey, blow smoke, baby. If you owe this guy $50K plus, I believe, and I'm gonna let you know now, I got a lot of the emails, I got a lot of the rate cons, I got so much stuff, so much, and I don't like what I see. Not to mention this, how are you charging for quick pay and they're not even getting paid? Or the quick pay is like way down the line. What are you guys doing over there? I've said it time and time again. You want to use uneducated or young people, probably as your fall guys in your brokerage? Hey, I'm telling you, it ain't gonna fly. Not anymore. Everyone is coming out. Everyone's speaking up. If I got to do another show and another show and another show, it's no problem. We're going to do a lot of them. But what you people are doing, and it's documented, it's all over the damn internet. Okay? Not to mention what's being sent to me. OTR Solutions, Carrier Sure, really. Oh, we forgot. Marquee Insurance, too, who used to blow up my emails, blow up my phone, and then I tell them off because you know why? They're using some punk kids to advertise for them who are double brokering, who don't even have motor carrier authority. You guys are real geniuses over there. Real geniuses. Real geniuses. So, I'm going to play this video for you. It's about 35 to 38 minutes long. I hope you all take the time to listen to what this veteran is saying. And he's not just a normal, everyday veteran. Trust me when I tell you that. And I've seen some of his accolades and some accomplishments and some things he's done for the community, okay? And I verified he is a veteran. I've seen his card. I've seen his license. I've seen everything, okay? And I 100% will back any U.S. veteran, especially if they're getting screwed by dirtbags. So, it better be fixed. I'm not going away. I'm going to get louder. I'm just going to get louder. I'm going to play the video. It's going to roll into the outro. I hope you enjoyed the intro music. I hope you enjoy the outro music. And it's music's for my veteran brothers, okay? So rock on, and enough is enough. Push back. Hold the line, guys. Hold the line.
We're at the location of Nolan Transportation. This is the Charleston, South Carolina location on Christmas Eve, the night of Christmas Eve. Here's my sign, veteran-owned business robbed by NTG. Pay me my money, fraud, over $50,000. Nolan Transportation Group blocked me on Google, LinkedIn. They ignore my emails, pretty much blocking me everywhere that they can go. Nolan does not keep records or pay small carriers, and they admit to this through an email. Now, this business is shared with a couple of companies, but this is 4100 Leeds Avenue, and also they're in suite 3 something, whatever, so I'm assuming the 3rd floor. All these lights on up here. That's NTG. As you can see on the door, in respect to their property, 4401, that's it. Which is the address when you look it up on Google. I decided to come here because this is where it all started. This is the office that I was pulling freight out of. I accounted for over, I would say maybe 125 loads in less than a year. I bought, let's see, 1, 2, 3. I bought 3 to 4 carriers over the NTG, so I actually accounted for over 200 loads of Duracell battery through DHL down in Charleston. It was pretty good at first. he got hooked up with a broker with him, introduced to a broker, and this broker also was supposed to be the vice president of sales. And we started our first few loads was Greenwood loads, which we split those loads with a carrier. It was like 11 loads, and those 11 loads, the carrier ended up backing out, so we covered the majority of the loads. Right off of the gate, I ran into pay issues with NTG accounting department. First of all, rate cons. You get these loads, they give you rate cons, and we always told NTG, rate cons need to match. The rate cons need to match, because when you go to invoice them, if the rate cons don't match what's on the bill of lading, then the accounting department, they don't pay it. And the accounting department, they don't come back to you and ask questions or anything. It's just push it over to the side, and we got other loads, other carriers to work with or however. Anyway, then we was introduced to some Duracell loads. At the time, I was running 2 trucks, so started on the Duracell loads. I saw that the loads paid pretty good. And by the way, this is a nice area too. Look at this. Sonopar. Next door. This is Leeds Avenue, Charleston, South Carolina. I pull freight right across the water out of Wando and Hugh and North Charleston. At one point, I was told I was the top carrier in the area because the loads that my trucks pull, and then, the guys that we bought it in. But of course, like it's good brokers and it's bad brokers. Bad brokers will tell you anything to keep you to moving the freight. That's how we got to over $50,000. Anyway, one thing led to another. I got 3 trucks, started running these Duracells, and immediately we started in about May, June. Well, I got emails in July. Loads already backed up with the accounting department. I'm having pay issues. Issue after issue after issue. The issue was data entry. People not putting the stuff in the computer, and I'm sending it into the accounting department. They don't see the loads, so they're not paying me. Even though we ran into the pay issues, the broker was pretty good about getting these loads straight and, eventually getting them paid, so we kept running. I actually bought over 2 companies because the freight was so demanding. I didn't have enough trucks, so I bought these companies over to help, haul the freight. I mean, you can't haul all the freight by yourself. So I bought these companies over, and, they were doing pretty good, and every now and then they'll run into pay issues also with the accounting department. We try to call the accounting department. Half of the people, they barely speak good English, or they barely understand you, and half of the time they didn't answer the phone. Tell you one thing, and when you invoice it the way that they want to, they still didn't pay. Charge you for quick pay for 2 or 3 days, but then it'll take you 2 or 3 weeks to get paid. Anyway, as time went, I end up leasing on another driver, and that driver led to having a cargo claim. Well, had an accident. What it was, a car stopped in the middle of the road, and he pulled off to the shoulder, not hit his car in the back, and the trailer sank over in the grass because the passenger tires was off the road, and that's when he had a rollover. Truck was completely stopped, it just tilted over. Anyway, time went on. We still running into pay issues. We didn't really hear nothing else about this cargo claim. They let us, we ran up until December. The broker didn't care too much for the male carrier representative, so we hardly heard anything from the carrier representative. We dealt directly with the broker. The broker would send us the loads, and he gave us a schedule, and the schedule followed by rate cons. We had a call about every morning going over the loads that we supposed to get, and got the backup emails and all of this stuff. So the rate cons would come, boom, we invoice them, and they will pay. some loads didn't pay. I got emails of going back and forth with the accounting department, with the broker trying to help me out to get paid. You know, this was an ongoing situation. And then when they did pay me, they charged me $62 to about $100 for quick pay. You know, it got so bad at one point, they promised to give me the money back. Then the person that said that, I mean, we never heard nothing else from them. Anyway, in December, we was introduced to a new carrier representative, which was a female, pretty young, 25 years old. Sound pretty intelligent, you know, said that, you know, she's new, and she wasn't new to Nolan, but was new to us. And, you know, we were going to be part of the team. We was running these loads so quick, they had to build a team at Nolan for us. We didn't go through a bidding process. I didn't have to bid on a load. Boom, they send me these loads. These loads come out on Wednesday or Thursday the week before. They give me a schedule. I already know what I'm doing on Monday, and we go at it. We deliver the loads, we get a bill of ladings, set it up with the invoices and the rate cards, send them on in. However, we always had an issue with this accounting department. Mine, this is 6 months, 5-6 months after the cargo claim, we still haven't heard anything. By this time, my uncle's running his company. I bought his company on. A friend of mine, his company is here, and another friend of mine, his company is here. And we steady invoicing, and some loads paying. The broker telling us, hey, yo, don't worry about it. We're going to get it taken care of. You know, even I asked about the Greenwood loads from when I first hauled. Hey, these loads don't pay that much money, so don't even worry about it. These Duracells pay more money. Let's get these Duracells. So, you know, we continue running, and this new carrier representative, the female that they brought along, she was supposed to get all of these rate cons and invoices straightened out that, you know, loads didn't pay, or they didn't give me the rate con. And the reason I didn't get a lot of the rate cons is because the other carrier representative, he just pretty much gave up. I mean, if you got a broker bullying you every day, you would give up too. You know, beating you over the head on your job, talking to you like you're not trash, you know, you trash, and disrespecting you on the phone with the carriers, you would back off too. So this is how a lot of our rate cons, in my emails, which I got supporting documents, I asked for rate cons and we never get rate cons. Or you have the tracking team asking this amount of questions, or that amount of questions. Well, we got to the point that they stopped the tracking team from aggravating us. And they set up a group message with DHL, Duracell, in my cell phone. I still have all the messages today. Every time they sent the schedules, they sent pickup numbers backed up by emails, and they told us what loads to get, and they send the rate cons. If the rate cons was bad, I'll send an email back requesting the rate cons be updated, or I'll invoice a load, and some of the loads paid, some of the loads didn't, but it was the same thing. You get with the broker, he would tell you, hey man, I get it straightened out, which it wasn't his job, but he said, I get it straightened out. You know, it was a dedicated account, so you miss one load, they can lose the account. The name of the game was to keep the account for NTG. Little do I know later that will backfire and bite me. So the new carrier rep, she came in, hey, we're gonna get your load straightened out. We get these invoices in. And I even spoke with a supervisor. The supervisor asked me, was she doing a good job? And I said, yeah. Even though some days you would call the carrier rep, she's on the phone crying. Some days she couldn't even talk to you because of crying. So they actually got her assistant to back her up, because that was the many loads that we were turning. So after the carrier rep, you know, which this video, I'm not going to say the name, but after the carrier rep told us, we're going to get the loads and we're going to fix them. Even if it had to take me a whole weekend, I would sip wine and we'd get your loads straightened out. Well, that never happened. So now the assistant comes along. Same story. Beginning of 2022, same story. we would get the invoices straightened out, get the rate cons sent out. And you know what they did, they just sent me a ton of rate cons, a ton of loads, asking you, do you have the proof of the bill of lading for these loads? Once again, you got two new people who got no clue of what went on from 2021. So they just going by what's in their computer and they sending it to you and fail to realize that you never got the correct stuff from, you know, the correct rate cons or anything in the first place. Well, now this assistant make the promise, oh, well, if it takes me up until 10 o'clock tonight, we're going to get all of these invoices and rate cons straightened out so you can get paid. Remember, we still having problems with the accounting department. The summer comes along, freight slows down. At least I thought it slowed down until I looked into what actually happened, but you know, we'll address that later. Freight slowed down, and it got so bad that I couldn't get paid by the accounting department. I actually got the text message where I'm telling the carrier representative, I got loads from last summer that I'm trying to invoice you guys for, and I can't even invoice you for that. Then on top of that, now you're telling me the freight is slow. I got chassis bills building up with containers. I was pulling the containers out of the port. So with these chassis bills, you know, we're holding on the chassis just so Nolan can get their freight moved, and I don't get reimbursed for these chassis fees. The chassis people even told me, hey, we don't even like dealing with them because they don't pay and they're difficult to get a pay out of. So what they did was they harassed me. I even had a chassis stolen from me, parts stolen. You know, they caught the guy, took the license plate off of it and had it on his truck and, you know, whatnot. But anyway, I get a lien from a business loan of mine sent to NTG. Now, I would never get this lien had I been getting paid on time. Their contract says when the paperwork is submitted within 45 days, at the most, you will get paid. I'm still waiting on loads now that's 2 years old. I got one load that I actually canceled everything for my birthday, covered so they wouldn't lose their account, asked them for a rate con in 2021, and I still don't have the rate con. If I knew this, I would have just went on ahead and did something for my birthday, at least go to Waffle House. Anyway, when this came, they stopped my pay. They stopped all my pay. They say, well, hey, you got a lien, we got to pay this. Or we can't pay you because they sent this lien to us, and we're gonna turn around and we got to submit this in. So I got the lien released. Well, now that the lien is released, they go to the cargo claim. Push go to shove, they accuse me of doing something that I didn't do, which the broker knew all about it. The carrier rep, they knew all about it. But anyway, one thing led to another. I said that you owe me so much money, pay for the cargo claim, because I was told, okay, when a cargo claim is paid for, then we'll release the money that we owe you. Okay, so I said, hey, pay for the cargo claim. You still owe me about $60,000. Now the cargo claim is paid and they owe me $60,000 now. This is because of loads that hadn't paid, or they didn't give me rate cons for, or I mean, I give you an example. I had a load, we had 3 loads. We went to deliver these 3 loads one day. When we got to the customer said the NTG failed to book an appointment. The customer was all the way in Georgia. So we had to bring these loads all the way back to Charleston, South Carolina. Put these loads in storage. Wait a week, get these loads back out of storage and take them back to Georgia to deliver. So I had 2 rate cons for each load. That's 6 rate cons. 1 rate con was for going there, not being able to deliver, which was a dry run. The other rate con was for going back and delivering. NTG after invoicing them the correct time, on the correct amount of time, within 90 days like they said, after invoicing them and providing proof of delivery, and the rate con actually says dry run, well, they took each of those loads and paid me for one thing and not the other. So 2 loads they paid for dry run, which was under the rate. Then 1 load they paid me for delivery, which was the exact same rate. So with those loads, they owed me $7,500 just on those loads. And those loads were delivered on time. And NTG still yet today have not paid it. We got loads that's in the computer, and you have the broker telling the accounting department, pay these out. This load is good. 2 months in a row from February 22. Still haven't paid, and it's about to be February 23. February 24. 2 years ago. Almost 2 years ago. So I ended up, pursuing them for payment. NTG, first, the general manager, he said, let's go through all of these loads, and let's take these loads, and we're gonna individually send those in to the accounting department, and we're gonna get you paid. The broker reached out to the guy in the claims department, which at the time of the claim, I went in to the customer because some paperwork was wrong on the claim. I went into the customer because NTG is very good at ignoring you. NTG sent me a list of loads and said, you need to invoice us these loads. Right then and there, I knew it was a problem. NTG did not look at none of their paperwork. They did not look at the load numbers. If they did, they would know the load numbers that they sent me were duplicate loads. The loads had already paid. So when I called NTG to tell them that, explain it to them, NTG sent me an email telling me do not call NTG no more. Email them. Now, it didn't come out of this office. It came out of the Atlanta office, and this guy still have a job today. And on my next video, I'm putting out all the names from all the departments, everybody. But anyway, this guy still has a job today. And it's a shame that I had to tell him in the email that he needs to be a little more professional. That's something that the supervisor at NTG should be telling him. As a matter of fact, he shouldn't have a job. I mean, I just read on Facebook today that NTG wishing a happy holidays to the customers. So that's why I'm out here on Christmas Eve. I'm waiting to see if Santa Claus is going to drop my check because he didn't come by my house and drop it off for me. Anyway, where was I at? Oh, yeah, the general manager. I submitted all these loads to the general manager. Proof of delivery, schedules, emails, text messages. In the emails, they could see what we was explaining these loads to the accounting department. They just couldn't understand them. What they couldn't understand about an invoice, a bill of lading, and all of this stuff. I don't know, but still, no payment. Well, I kept pursuing Nolan. This was in October 2022. All of the loads sitting in the email of the general manager, just for me to be told in December by NTG, you hadn't invoiced us for none of the loads, and if you wish to be paid. Remember, they telling us to a veteran-owned business, if you wish to be paid, I need to invoice them, even though I just invoiced them 2 months before. Okay, I let all of this go. I let all this go all the way up till February. At the time of driving with Nolan, toward the end, when I was doing these loads, I noticed that, I had health issues. Went to the doctor a couple times. They told me that it could be from the vibration of the truck. Well, needless to say, in February, on the morning of getting ready for my uncle's funeral, when I went to the emergency room, if I didn't went, it would have been my funeral. Now, some of it is a blockage and some of it came from stress because I had already started going to a counselor, and the counselor told me that, hey, you under a lot of stress from this whole situation with these people owing you all of this money. So they wanted me to take Zoloft, which I refused to do. But, you know, eventually it led to me almost dying on the day that I was going to my uncle's funeral. Anyway, I sat quiet all the way up until recently. Recently, I put these reviews on Google and LinkedIn because I got tired of the point of waiting. I got tired of NTG telling me, oh, we're going to pay you. Oh, well, if you wish the invoices, we need to get invoices. Well, I was reached out to someone from NTG just recently. Get on the phone with this guy. He goes on about the reviews, which all of my reviews are facts. I got documents, I got emails, I got text messages that they don't know about. I got text messages of your broker calling your freight forwarder a name I would never call anybody, and it starts with a B. I've spoken to your freight forwarder plenty of times. So when the guy from Nolan told me do not have contact with the customer, I've had contact with the customer more than he has. As a matter of fact, when the broker didn't work, I was the only one that could get your loads inside of the port because your carrier representative wasn't properly trained enough to even get booking numbers. So anyway, I get a call from this guy, get on the phone with this guy. This guy told me, hey man, he said, I'm just going to admit to you, we have kids working in some of these things, and, you know, on behalf of NTG, I want to apologize. Sound so sincere. They sound sincere. The broker sounded sincere when he told me, oh, I play golf with the owner, man. You got any problems, I'll go straight over their head and get it taken care of. See, this is one of the reasons why these invoices are never paid, and we relied on this broker who no longer has a job with Nolan, which is the carrier representative who no longer works with Nolan. And then when this guy reached out to me, I found out that the general manager no longer works with NTG, and my invoices have been sitting in his email since I sent them to him in October 2022. So that explains why they was asking for invoices again in December 2022. They don't even communicate inside of this. I guess they done got so big, and this is a very nice building, even though they don't own the whole building, so that's why I'm on the property, but I'm paying respect by not going on the sidewalk. But anyway, this is a very nice building. But they got so big till the departments don't even talk to each other unless they scamming you out of your money. So this guy tells me, take the reviews down. Man, we're going to work. I can't. He was honest. I can't promise you I'm going to get you paid on everything, but we can work to try to get you paid. No problem. So once again, for the third time, fourth time on some loads, I submitted all invoices. I submitted emails to back it up. I submitted schedules, text messages from the broker to this guy. Once I took the review down, NTG started ignoring me again. So I went back to Google and put the review back up. Wasn't 24 hours, I got an email from NTG. Hey man, thought you was gonna take those reviews down. Is there any chance that you could take them down? So by this time I said, you know, no. I'll take it down when I get paid. So I get an email with a couple other people attached to it. One name I recognize, and that automatically threw a red flag because she was one of the reasons that I wasn't getting paid in the first place. She wasn't doing her darn job. Look at this nosy person over here. But anyway, one of the reasons that she wasn't doing her job, you know, she wasn't doing her job, and that's why I wasn't getting paid. She told me one thing, and when I submitted invoices the way that she told me, evidently the people inside of the office wasn't on the same, it wasn't in the same line that she was in. Didn't have the same understanding as her, so they still didn't pay. So anyway, I get an email with her, the lady that responds to you on the internet telling you Please email carrier relations about your NTG experience. I got another guy that I looked up, and when my account on Google got blocked, these people stopped responding. I get an email because I emailed the CEO. This is going on long enough. I should have had my money and got on with my life. I don't want to be dealing with NTG. I don't want to be out here on the night of Christmas Eve. But let's just say, how can you look at your kids on the morning of Christmas when you've been ripped off by these people and you couldn't afford to buy them gifts? Once again, look at this little nosy person right here. So, anyway, I send the CEO a message along with some other people from NTG, and they reached out, I guess, to the general counsel, who sends me another message and says all contact will be going through. Well, he said that NTG will not be paying you, and this is in the email, he would not be paying you the amount of money that you owe, that we owe you, or you claim we owe you, because we cannot verify the loads. And we can't verify that you moved to the movement of NTG. Other words, with the schedules, the emails, the text messages, the rate cons and everything, even on some of these loads, they could not prove that I did these loads. So in other words, I showed up to the customer with pickup numbers and just picked up these loads. So that's where we at today. The public needs to know this is how some of these brokers, not all brokers are not bad, but you have some brokers like these big brokers, they take advantage of you. And they take advantage of you and they use their one-sided contracts. Everything in their contract applies to you. You would think you're making an agreement. They call it an agreement. You would think it's agreement, but everything in their contract applies to you. For example, NTG contract says if a verbal agreement is made on the phone, they will immediately update you with the paperwork. I've never went through that. NTG says they will pay you within 45 days. I got a load that paid me 1 year later. You don't get no interest. You don't get no I apologize. You don't get that. I got loads that was invoiced on time and it's going on 2 years and they haven't paid. And the general counsel from NTG sends me an email saying these loads can't be verified and they've already been verified. So that goes to show that he does not even read his emails. He also said that all further communication should be sent through him. So again, I sent all the invoices, all the proof of the loads, all the text messages, all the emails to him, along with a letter. Guess what? Today, the general counsel of NTG is ignoring me. So I called up and I found his assistant. I sent all the emails, text messages, invoices, rate cons, emails showing that I've been asking for rate cons to the assistant, who told me, hey, I'm going to talk to him this afternoon and I'll give you a call back. Well, I've been 2 weeks ago. Still haven't got a call back from NTG. So this is why I'm out here on Christmas Eve. Not only NTG ruined this Christmas, you ruined the past Christmas, and you ruined the Christmas before that. You ruined every birthday for the past 2 years that my boys has had, and you destroyed my whole entire business. And I got people who say, well, this is a legitimate company. Well, you tell me what is so legitimate about not paying a carrier. How can you get up on Facebook and get up on the internet and say happy holidays to the carriers? I wish my holiday was happy. I wish you paid me my money so I can get on with my business, you know? So I'm going to be going to another location New Year's Eve. They say when you bring in New Year's doing something, you'll be doing that all year. So I'm prepared to bring in the New Year's chasing after my money that is owed to me by NTG. And I'm prepared to chase all year long. It's not gonna stop. My message to drivers, and I've been reading a whole lot of comments on Facebook. My message to these drivers is stick together. Don't look down on another driver unless you're looking down on them to pick them up. Just because your experience been good with a broker or a brokerage don't mean everybody's experience has been good with a broker and a brokerage. You don't have a building like this, but they do. How did they get it? You think they got it by doing honest business? I mean, look, some of them got their favorite teams up there. That's Clemson. That look like Arkansas or somebody. Fancy computers, they sit at a desk while you on the road fighting weather. Now, I like to give a shout out to the NOOA, Mike Boston, definitely Mr. James Lamb, because he reached out to me and he helped me out with relief, truckers relief. And you guys make sure you reach out to James Lamb if you go into any situation like this. We have things out there for us, but we don't have things like this. There's a reason why we don't have this, because we don't stick together. That's exactly why. I put posts on Facebook, and you should see how many truck drivers were against it because they have a great experience. My thing is, even if my experience is great, I'm still gonna look out for the next carrier. The thing is, we not like these new, we not like the old truck drivers, I'm sorry. This is the new age. You see a man on the side of the road, you don't even stop no more. You go in the fuel aisle and you sit in the fuel aisle in 30 minutes, you ain't even considerate of the next driver. Get back to the old ways, man. If you see these old drivers, open the door for them, man. They paved the way for you. You know, we got these new guys who just don't care. It's about them and them only. My advice to you, if you out here for self, find you another profession, man, because we ain't gonna never get anywhere. Tune in for my next video next week. As you can see, these nosy people, they still looking. Look at them, they're still looking. They'll be all right. I won't vandalize this building. And this is a public building, so I can actually be on the property until they do a trespassing. They have to get every business in there to put a trespassing on me to stop me. That's the law in South Carolina. Being that they don't own the whole entire building, they had to get everybody in the building to put a trespassing on me. You don't know who I'm coming to see. Anyway, these are my signs. Pay me my $50,000. Veteran-owned business. Robbed by NTG. Hopefully they taking pictures of it too. Nolan Transportation does not keep records or pay small carriers. By the way, I have an email from NTG telling me that none of these loads are in the computer. And I thought it was a DOT requirement to keep these loads and transactions for up to 3 years, but they in the computer. They send me an email admitting none of this stuff is in the computer. And now they just pretty much ignore me. And this one, like I say, Nolan Transportation, Google, they blocked me. LinkedIn, they blocked me. They ignore me now, and they still refuse to pay me, even on loads that have been verified. So next week, I'll be back, and we're gonna be at another location. But next week, I'm putting out names. I'm gonna have documents printed out so you can see it. So everybody can see it.
I done raised this hell. I've been the last one standing when all the giants fell. I won't shiver, I won't shake. I'm made of stone, I don't break.